Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down what is, without a doubt, the most critical starting point for any successful process improvement project, the define phase of DMAIC. If you get this one part right, you're building a powerful foundation for everything that follows. So let's kick things off with a question I think we've all asked ourselves at some point. You've seen it, right? A project kicks off with all this energy and excitement, but then, a few months down the line, it's totally lost, it's way over budget, and it's nowhere near its original goal. How does this keep happening? Well, the answer, more often than not, lies right here. It's not usually a failure of execution or because the team didn't work hard enough. The seeds of failure are almost always planted in those first few days, in how the project was defined, or maybe more accurately, how it wasn't defined. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to do a quick intro to Lean Six Sigma, and then really dig into why this define phase is the foundation for everything. We'll cover how you pinpoint the actual problem, how you build a project contract, and wrap up with why this first step is such a game changer. First things first, let's kind of set the stage here. The define phase we're talking about is part of a much bigger and honestly incredibly powerful methodology. So Lean Six Sigma is this brilliant combination. The easiest way to think about it is this. Lean makes your processes faster by cutting out all the junk, all the unnecessary steps, the waste. Then Six Sigma comes in and makes those faster processes super consistent and reliable by crushing errors and defects. It's really the ultimate 1-2 punch for making things run better. And these 5 principles right here, they're the anchor for the whole thing. It all starts with customer focus. You have to define what's valuable from their point of view. Then you've got data-driven decisions and process orientation, which makes sure we're using hard facts, not just gut feelings. And finally, eliminating waste and always pushing for continuous improvement are what drive the actual results. This whole framework basically forces us to stop guessing and start proving. So, okay, we've got these great principles, but how do we actually put them into action? Well, we use a structured, disciplined process, and it's called DMAIC. DMAIC is the 5-phase roadmap that guides every single Lean Six Sigma project. You define the problem, you measure how the process is doing now, you analyze to find the root causes, you improve the process, and then you control it to make sure the gains stick. And today, our entire focus is on that first highlighted, absolutely crucial step, define. I love this quote because it just perfectly illustrates why we're dedicating a whole explainer to this. I mean, think about it. You would never, ever build a giant skyscraper on a shaky foundation, right? It's the same exact logic here. A weak define phase pretty much guarantees that no matter how brilliant your work is later on, the whole project is just destined to crumble. This is the phase that does all the heavy lifting right at the start. It makes sure you're aligned with what the business actually cares about. So you're not just solving a problem, you're solving the right problem. It forces you to actually listen to your customers. And so importantly, it sets clear boundaries to stop that dreaded scope creep and gets you the resources and the executive buy-in you're going to need to succeed. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the define phase itself, getting total clarity. And that all starts with nailing down the problem with, surgical precision. Now, a problem statement is not the place for your theories, it's not for pointing fingers, and it's definitely not for talking about solutions. It's just a cold, hard, factual description of what's happening right now. It has to quantify the pain the business is feeling by answering these key questions. Just look at this example. It's perfect. It tells us what's happening. Late shipments. How much? A whopping 28% of the time. And the impact, a massive $450,000 in penalties, plus losing customers. There's zero ambiguity here. You read that and you know, okay, this is a problem worth solving. So, once you've defined the problem, you've got to define the destination. And that's exactly what the goals statement does. It basically flips the problem on its head and creates a target, but not just any old target, a smart one. The SMART framework is just absolutely essential here because it forces rigor into your ambitions. It moves you away from a vague wish like, let's improve deliveries, to a concrete commitment. Your goal has to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant to the business, and time-bound. And boom, here's the result. See how this goal directly mirrors that problem statement? It's a specific target. Get from 28% to under 5%. It's totally measurable. It's time-bound. We're doing it in 6 months. And it is absolutely relevant, tying directly to saving money. Now that is a powerful, focused goal. Okay, so the problem is clear, the goal is clear. Now it's time to make it official. This is the part where you formalize the agreement to actually move forward with this thing. You should think of the project charter as the project's official birth certificate. It is, and I'm not exaggerating, the single most important document you will create in this entire phase. It's that formal contract that gets everyone on the same page saying, yes, we all agree this is the problem, this is the goal, and this is the team that has the green light to go solve it. A really good charter covers all the bases. It kicks off with the business case. Why are we even doing this? It includes our problem and goal statements. And this is a big one. It defines the scope, what's in, and just as importantly, what's out of this project. That alone will save you so many headaches later. It lays out the team, the timeline, and of course it gets signed off. That signature is your official license to proceed. So let's tie all of this together. Why are we so obsessed with getting this first phase just right? Well, it really just comes down to one thing: impact. If you don't have a solid defined phase, you're basically inviting all of these project killers to the party. Scope creep, where the goalposts keep moving. Vague targets that you can never actually measure. Stakeholders who aren't really on board. And maybe the biggest killer of them all, wasting months of time and money building a perfect solution to the wrong problem. And here's the payoff. This isn't just a theory. Real-world analysis shows that the time you invest up front pays off massively. We're talking projects that deliver between 2 to 5 times higher return on investment. A strong start doesn't just help you finish, it helps you win big. Ultimately, this is what it all boils down to. Good intentions don't fix broken processes. The define phase is the disciplined engine that takes all those good intentions, all that chaotic energy, and channels it into a focused, powerful, high-impact project that actually has a clear path to success. So as you head into your next meeting, or as you're getting ready to kick off your next big initiative, just ask yourself this one question. Are you just jumping in headfirst, or are you actually taking the time to build a solid foundation? Because that foundation, that's what's going to determine if your project is truly built to last.